Hello trainers, my name is Tablemon and today we're going to be playing with Rapidstrike Inteleon VMAX, one of the new Pokemon VMAX from the Fusion Strike set. Let's go ahead and take a look at the list, shall we? Alright trainers, Rapidstrike Inteleon VMAX is one of the brand new Pokemon VMAX from the Fusion Strike set. A pretty powerful card overall, as it combos really nicely with a ton of cards that we had previously received in other sets. So let's take a look at how this deck works. First off, its ability, it is pretty good, right? The double gunner ability allows you to discard a water energy card from your hand in order to use the ability, and then you may choose two of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put 2 damage counters on each of them. However, we are actually not playing any basic water energy, even though this ability is potentially very good. We do have the quick shooting Inteleon in order to place extra damage counters, and we are going to focusing on a different style of playing this Inteleon VMAX deck, which will feature the Rapid Strike energy, since we can utilize it as Inteleon is a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Now the attack G-Max Spiral does 70 damage for 2 energies, which is definitely not impressive at all for a Pokemon VMAX, but you may put an energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand, and if you do, this attack does 70 more damage. So in total, doing 140 damage for a single strike, for a single energy, the Rapid Strike one, is pretty decent, right? However, 140 comes up just short of really 2-hit KOing any of the relevant VMAXs, right? So we will be utilizing Inteleon's quick shooting to help us with that, but the cool thing about this is by putting the energy back into your hand, you can actually let Inteleon VMAX take a hit and then immediately heal it with Cheryl. Cheryl is the main supporter here. It allows you to heal all damage from each of your evolution Pokemon, and if you do, you discard all energy from the Pokemon that were healed in this way. However, if they don't have any energy, you don't have to discard anything at all, obviously, and you still get the healing. So that's the combo that we're going to be utilizing. We're going to be attacking with Inteleon VMAX, getting the energy back into our hand, tanking a hit, and then the Cheryl will heal off the damage, and then we will reattach the energy and continue to pummel our opponent that way. Now, of course, Marnie, one of our worst enemies in general in this game, that can make us dead drop, but also if we put the energy back into our hand, then it gets taken away, right? Well, that's where the Rapid Strike Search Octillery comes in, as it allows you to search for a Rapid Strike card from your deck, put it into your hand, and use it, right? So no matter if our opponent uses Marnie or not, we will be able to get back that energy each and every turn. And if they're using something different like Professor's Research or Boss's Orders to KO the Octillery perhaps, that means the energy that we returned the previous turn remains in our hand. So it's a win-win no matter what. So setting up Octillery is one of the priorities for this deck. Now on top of that, we also have the full Inteleon lineup with the 4/4 Drizzile, the 1 Shady Dealings Inteleon, and the double quick shooting Inteleon. And Shady Dealings is of course very important, as it will allow us to search for Cheryl, right? We do want to heal with Cheryl as much as we can, preventing our opponent from knocking us out and allowing us to knock them out without losing one of our Inteleon VMAXs, or ideally not losing both, as then we would lose the game. So in order to help with this slow and steady wins the race sort of thing strategy, we will be playing 4 Path to a Peak to deny our opponent's abilities, hopefully slow them down to a point where we can out-heal them and outpace them that way. And we also have this Basculin as an attacker with the Swarm the Wound attack. Does 30 damage plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. By doing that, you can take advantage of the previous damage from Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. You also get the benefit of utilizing a single price attacker rather than a 3-pricer, forcing your opponent to have Boss's Orders if they want to go after your Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. Gives you a little bonus in the damage, and it's a nice pivot to have as a different attacker, right? Other than that, the deck features as much consistency as possible with 4 Quick Ball, 4 Level Ball, and 4 Evolution Instants to find all the Pokemon that we need to set up. We also have Scoop Up Nets to reutilize Shady Dealings, as we do want to continuously find Cheryl pretty much every turn. We also have 3 Boss's Orders to chase down whatever our opponent got damaged, right? Whichever Pokemon got damaged, we want to chase it down, make sure we can knock it out. So that's why you have 3 copies of Boss's Orders. And with Big Charm, our Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX gets all the way up to 350 HP, making sure that it's never one-shot by something like a 4-power tablet Mew VMAX, right? So that's a pretty cool card to have. Research, Marnie, and Karina's Focus round out the deck. However, ideally we will not be playing those, and we will be playing Cheryl and Boss most of the time. Finally, we have our 4 beautiful Rapid Strike Energy, providing water and fighting. The fighting part doesn't matter, the water part does, and this is the whole reason why the deck actually works. So that's the deck list. Why don't we jump into some battles and see how it goes. Alrighty, so we are up here with our first game. Let's see what we can do. We are going to start with a mulligan, but we did go first, which is always a good thing in this format, especially going first is very, very important. I don't recall, in the 20 years that I've been playing this game, I do not recall a time where when the coin flip was this important, but you know, we'll work with it. Okay, so we have a decent-ish start. No Octillery, so it's gonna be hard to attack on turn 2 with the Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX unless I get very lucky off of whatever I find from my Drizzile. Seeing the V-Bolt is actually pretty bad news, right? I don't know what I'm up against, but lightning type attackers obviously threaten our lightning weak Inteleon, especially as we don't really threaten with a lot of damage ourselves. So we're gonna see V-Bolt, we're gonna see the double Sobble, and yeah, another unfortunate thing about the current format we are playing in is the fact that weakness plays such a big role in determining who wins and who doesn't, that can be a little tricky to bypass that at any given point. Now, assuming my opponent is playing a did price 1 Rapid Strike Energy, assuming my opponent is playing a like sort of item locking denial deck, I think it's safe to assume that they're playing Path to a Peak as well. I will be losing a Cheryl and the Boss's Orders and the Shady Dealings Inteleon, but I'm gonna try and maximize my potential to find the Rapid Strike Energy, because that would be really threatening for my opponent. If I can get an attack off here, that would be really, really great. So I'm choosing to draw 7, and I do find the energy, which is absolutely fantastic. So I got a pretty playable hand to where I want to make a decision with this quick ball of whether I expect my opponent to knock me out or not. I don't expect him to knock me out, so that means I should quick ball for Sobble, right? Though I will be searching. Yeah, actually, okay, I'm gonna get rid of Tower of Waters. I fully expect my opponent to be playing forward Path to a Peak, or at least 3 themselves. I'm gonna go for the Inteleon V. I think that's the safer choice to make sure that I'm attacking 140 damage this turn. If I get Marnied, then I do lose the energy, but hopefully I find Octillery. If I don't get Marnied, then I'm threatening the KO on this V-Bolt. I don't get to heal. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's fine, that's fine. I just realized my opponent's about to item lock me. Or he's actually about to knock me out with a Melanie play, in fact. Yep, never mind. I am getting knocked out, so I'm very glad I went for the Inteleon. That was, wow, okay. That's definitely pretty scary. Wow, okay. Pretty scary stuff, not gonna lie, pretty scary stuff right here against that Melanie play. Very nicely done by my opponent. It will be taking 3 prizes, we will be taking 2. However, their backup is not looking that great so far. Well, I mean, if they just bench a V-Bolt, that's actually... Like, they don't threaten to KO's next turn, but within 2 turns they could, and I certainly cannot pressure that V-Bolt at this point in time. So, yeah, actually things are not looking great at all. Things are not looking great at all. I'm gonna need my opponent to not get, like, the lightning energy or to miss the Melanie at some point. Yeah, this is not looking great by any means. Alright. So we'll go ahead and do this, grab ourselves Octillery. With Octillery, we can grab the VMAX, and Octillery also guarantees that we get a few more resources afterwards. But yeah, I think my opponent will have enough turns to potentially just wreck us here, honestly. So I don't have a lot of hope of winning this game anymore at this point. We'll see, we'll see. Lightning weakness and just weakness in general in the current format is just really hard to overcome no matter what you do. So, alright, we take 2 prizes. We have another quick ball, pretty useless. Another pass, also pretty useless. We have a boss's orders that we can potentially use to try and pressure the V-Cold. However, with my opponent's huge hand, I'll be very surprised if they don't outright Melanie, especially with the shady dealings right there. And they'll leave the V-Cold ready in the back, and that will be it. Right? That will be it. Alright. Not sure what else I could have done differently, honestly. Not sure what else I could have done differently at this point. The V-Gold is ready. It's ready to just outright win. So I guess my only chance would be to find something like a Marnie and then hopefully keep the Inteleon in the active. However, they are going to take the initiative. They will be going for a scoop up net right here. Not choosing to promote the V-Cold. So yeah, I absolutely need Marnie. And then it's still not very likely that I win. Because even with 2 pings, I don't threaten the V-Gold. That cross-switcher play is actually peculiar. I won't be able to retreat because the Tower of Waters is now completely gone. So my only hope now, okay. My only hope is, okay. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, here they are. I was like, where are my energies? Okay, I'm gonna grab the Rapid Strike energy. And, I mean, they must have a boss's orders, right? The attach retreat, it's not really impressive. Okay, I'm gonna attach to Inteleon. The only hope that I have is that they don't have boss. And then they knock out this Octillery, I place a damage counter, and then I go attack, but they have Inteleon, they have shady dealings, and there's the boss already, so I mean, it's very unlucky that I get to face the one V-Cold deck that this is not a meta deck, this is not popular at all, and we just so happen to have weakness. But let's give this a go in another game, hopefully not against a lightning Pokemon. Alright, on to the next game. Hopefully not a pure lightning deck, which is really ridiculous that we went up against, but that's what happens sometimes. Now we have an absolutely terrible hand. I'm gonna start with a Sobble. So we're gonna be playing from behind. We're definitely gonna be playing from behind, unless I get some really good cards off the mulligan. And my top deck, we are up against a fire deck. So now we're on the other side of the coin, if you will. Now, somehow I have 3 Paths to Peaks in my hand, right? Which is totally normal. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Why do I have 3 Paths to Peaks? I have no idea. Alright, so going for the triple Sobble seems like a good idea right here. I'll lose the active. We'll see. Victini, you would imagine it's a manageable matchup as long as I can do the combo, right? If I can do the combo, we're gonna be okay. If I can't do the combo, then I'm gonna be in trouble. Probably won't need to do the combo more than twice. Maybe just once will be enough. Pokemon Catcher Tailed is actually really good. Average heads, yep. So we're gonna lose the Remoraid. Oh boy. Okay, well they lose all their energy, so at least we have that going for us, right? At least we have that going for us. Okay. This is not normal. Going up against Vikavolt the previous game is not normal. Having 4 Path to a Peaks in your hand is also not normal, alright? But here we are. Here we are. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and quick pull for the Inteleon. We want to take the opportunity that my opponent doesn't have an energy in play and use that to our advantage and make sure we establish an Inteleon, because obviously Octillery is pretty important, but Inteleon is even more so. Yeah, and for those of you, I don't know, if you don't know me or if you're not aware of who I am, Tablemon at Tablemon, I tend to get some pretty interesting combinations of cards, some very impossible looking combination of cards a lot of the time, such as this one, yeah, such as exactly what you're looking at in front of you at the moment. My 4 Path to a Peak hand into a completely dead hand off of the 7 card research. Thankfully my opponent plays a Marnie. There's so many cards that help me in the deck, so I'm confident this Marnie will not make me further that draw. It almost did, but my opponent did miss the energy, so that's pretty impactful. Alright, so off the Evolution Incense, definitely gonna grab the Shady Dealings Inteleon. With that I'll grab the Scoop Up Net, and very likely another Evolution Incense so I can grab Octillery, get the VMAX, and now this will be the turning point, and that's the game. So despite our horrible start, despite our horrible draw, my opponent drew even more horrible, so that's the game. Let's jump into another one, see if we can actually get the deck going in a proper manner. See you there. Alrighty, let's see what this next game has in store for us. We do lose the coin flip, never good news, but hopefully we can manage. We have a decent starting hand. Decent starting hand. If we're going first, it will actually be fairly good. We are going to get a mulligan plus our top deck, so in an ideal world, I do see Cheryl and I do see Path to a Peak, so might be up against Drizzile and VMAX, which is certainly a problematic matchup. There's a chance we're up against a mirror match, which would be something very interesting to see. And it is the mirror match. Okay, so resource management will be very important right here. Very important. They got the energy, but nothing else. I got the path first, so that means they're stuck with their paths in their hand, not able to fin them. I have the Cheryl, I have the Inteleon, but healing here makes absolutely no sense if I can't actually attack as well. They have the secret rare, or the alternate art rather, Inteleon VMAX. And that Marnie just gave them everything they could possibly want. So I think I'm just gonna have to let this Inteleon go down. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Because if I grab, if I heal, then they just attack again. There's literally no point to just attacking. So I'll be down to 2 Cheryls. I don't want to help my opponent right here. I will lose a Drizzile, not the biggest of deals. And we'll go ahead and research. Alright, I do find the energy. I also find Remoraid, which is good. So I wonder if the 40 damage matters. It actually does. The 40 damage matters to the point where I'm actually gonna take the energy and use it. Because then I attack them hopefully with a VMAX next turn and they will be forced to heal afterwards instead of having 2 turns, because they know I can only do damage twice. I don't know, the Inteleon, the quick shooting Inteleon, setting that up will also be pretty important in this situation. So we will have to play with that knowledge in mind, and now we know my opponent's hand used to be dead, now they have access to 2 prizes. So Yeah, 2 prizes, and I was very confused at what they had in their hand. Okay, so I'm gonna level ball for Drizzile. I'll use Marnie to take away their energy. I'll grab Incense, and then with the Incense I'll grab Octillery, and with Octillery I will grab the Inteleon. So it's gonna be an interesting dynamic. I am down 1 Cheryl. They are not down any Cheryls. So that's gonna be annoying to deal with for sure. I guess I could not Marnie, but I guess I don't need Cheryl next turn. So you know what? I'm actually not going to Marnie them. I know they have the energy in their hand, but they have 2 random cards that I don't know what they are, but if I Marnie them, they will have 4 brand new random cards, 5 with their top deck, so choosing not to, since I'm not threatened to be KO'd afterwards, unless they go double Drizzile plus attack, which is possible yet unlikely. Alright, so there's only 1 chance that they have a good card right there, because the other one is the energy. Not much we know. Sobble, what's the other card? Research. Energy. Wow. Okay, well that means they're not healing, right? That means they are not healing, so that means we knock out the VMAX right here. Okay, so them chaining the Drizzles is actually bad, which is exactly what they're going to do. Because now if they set up double quick shooting, I will be in trouble. Next turn, at least. Zero card hand, and they got the research. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to come back in games when things like that happen. Okay, we know they have a Drizzile in their hand, so that I would say was a mistake. I'll go ahead and evolve. I am threatened, but I still have to do this. I absolutely have to. So I'll do this. I have the quick ball in hand, but I can't just Octillery for the rapid strike. I definitely need this guy as a backup in case my Inteleon does get KO'd. And then we'll go ahead and Marnie. It'd be really weird if the quick shooting, if the Cheryls actually never came into play. It would be really, really weird. Alright, so there's 1 quick shooting. I do have access to the Cheryl, sorry, healing, so I want to keep that Sobble as a Sobble to have access to the Drizzile. Get another Sobble of our prize cards. We get the Cheryl, which is nice. Now we have access to 3 of them potentially, and there's a Drizzile. So things are looking okay-ish for us to continually heal. As long as my opponent doesn't get double quick shooting, we should be fine. And I'm very surprised my opponent didn't establish the Octillery off of that other shady dealings. Grabbing the Drizzile from the deck was, I would say, a mistake, but who am I to judge? If I manage this heal, I think we're in a good spot. I think we have a chance to make the comeback. And now we'll definitely manage it. Unless my opponent's playing a weird combination of like Zigzagoon and Vitality Band. I'm fairly confident. I was fairly confident we would manage to heal. Now though, we are in danger of that drawing off of the Marnie, right? My hand is beautiful, but all of these beautiful cards are going to the bottom of the deck. So that is a little bit troublesome. Alright, there's the quick shooting Inteleon. So they will place the damage counter before even playing the Marnie, which is another mistake. Scoop up net. Benches a Sobble, evolves into Drizzile, has the potential for another quick shooting as well. That's what you want, right? To apply further pressure. But also limits your options to find Cheryl continually, so interesting dynamic for sure. Very interesting dynamic. Very, very interesting dynamic right here. All right. See another Inteleon. They could use that as well, like if they can't heal, they could end up trying to retreat. However, if they return the energy each time, then that won't happen. All right, so we're at the mercy of Marnie. We have the energy guaranteed off of Octillery, but we completely missed the Cheryl. We completely missed the Cheryl, and that means we're going down to a quick shooting damage. And then they just need boss to win. Out of all the possible cards we could have gotten, Level Ball, Scoop Up Net, Drizzle, Incenses, so many outs in our deck, and we did not get any of them. Oh boy. Alright, so it comes down to boss. It's gonna come down to a boss's orders for my opponent. Nothing I can do about that. Generally nothing I can do about that. It's a very silly way to lose. I draw the next 5 cards were all ways to find what I needed. Very silly, but it is what it is. My luck with this game is just unbelievable. Yeah, pretty sure that's gonna be it right here. It comes down to boss's orders. Comes down to my opponent finding bosses. I think I just messed up. I could have grabbed a big charm. Off of this Drizzle, I could have grabbed a big charm. I messed that up as well. Okay, so I definitely let my feelings cloud my judgment and prevent me from making the best play possible. My opponent will have access to 3 extra prizes. All they need is a boss's orders to win. And that will be it. And they need it at any point, right? They can just find it at any point. They don't need it right now. And it's because I started so mediocrely that they got those 2 free prizes early on. That's it. That's the game. I mean, 9 out of 10 times I'm pretty sure I lose. There's a chance my opponent doesn't have Cheryl and doesn't have boss. I'd be very surprised if that was the case, but yeah. There's a boss for some reason, for whatever reason, they took their time finding it. What can you do? You saw the deck in action over on the other side where you get to play the game. Over on my side, I was always from behind. The one turn I had the possibility to make a comeback, I missed out on all the possible Cheryl outs, and I also let my judgment get clouded. If I had searched for the big charm, I would have been fine. So that mistake is on my part for letting my emotions get the better of me, so I apologize. But yeah, that's how the deck works. You saw it from my side, you saw it from my opponent's side. Neither of us got to Cheryl, but that was the intention, right? If I had been able to Cheryl the previous turn, then my opponent needed to Cheryl. If I had found the big charm, my opponent needed to Cheryl, and the game would have continued on until whoever whiffed Cheryl first. Thanks so much for tuning in, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!